everyone, this is Carolina and welcome to another seasonal Saturday for 2011 series. I'm kicking it off with this treat holder. It's really fun and easy to put together and it holds small treats. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Let me tell you what you'll need: an empty toilet paper roll, a piece of crepe paper measuring 8.5 by 8, and I went ahead and used decorative scissors on the edge to give it a little nicer feel, since that's going to be the edge of the candy. 2 1 3/4 inch circles I cut out of a piece of cardboard, 2 8 inches of twine, 2 strips, 1 pearl. The pearl is going to go in the middle of the candy as such, a ruler, pencil, X-Acto knife, utility knife, whatever you like to call it, hot glue and a glue stick, some liquid glue. I'm using Tombow, but you can use whatever you like, and some extra twine, which we will use for the middle of the candy, and of course whatever treat you'd like. I'm using chocolate for this treat holder. Okay, so first thing is your toilet paper roll, and you'll also need your ruler and your pencil. And you just want a ruler long enough that'll go across the toilet paper roll. Doesn't have to be huge, but basically what you're going to do is take your pencil, and at every inch you're going to go ahead and add a dash, and then you're going to go and just roll your toilet paper roll till you basically come to the beginning dash for all 4 inches, and just go all the way down and around, okay, as I did here. And then just going to connect all those dashes. Just kind of go, basically make a circle all the way around the toilet paper roll. And you'll do this for all 4 dashes or lines that you made all the way around. And basically you'll be able to get 4 treats out of 1 roll, which is so cool. So anyway, so let me go ahead and finish this. And again, you're going to do that to all 4. So you'll end up with something like this. And now grab your X-Acto knife, utility knife, and the first time you put it in is going to be the hardest, because you don't want to kind of puncture all the way through. You just want to follow that line and go all the way around. Take your time with it. Don't try to rush through this process, because you can easily tear your paper roll. I mean, you'll have 3 others to work with, but you know, we don't like to waste anything. So anyways, keep going. I found it that it's easier to kind of keep the knife in one place and just kind of turn the toilet paper roll as you're seeing me do here. And then when you come to the end, you can either snip it off with scissors or just kind of cut it through with your knife like I did here. And again, you'll do that to the other 3, but for this purposes, I'm going to show you with this one. Okay, and then grab one of those circles that you punched out. I used a piece of cardboard paper that came with my 12 by 12 paper, and it was easy because it had a white edge and a cardboard edge. Grab your liquid glue while I'm talking to you about this, and we're going to go ahead and add glue. And for this purpose, I'm just using the Tombow liquid glue. So anyway, so you're going to go all the way around the edge of that toilet paper roll, or that piece that you cut off, making sure you're quite generous. You're going to go ahead and do this, and it might be easier to cut up all your toilet paper roll and then do this to all 4 and then set them aside to dry. That way you have some time for it to dry while you keep going to the next step. But again, for the video purposes, I'm just going to show you with this one. Then go ahead and center it in the middle of your circle. Hold it down for a little bit so you have, so they stick together. And then turn it around and make sure it's centered. See, so here I need to nudge it over a little bit. And then just set it aside to dry, faced up, as I did here. Okay, so now that it's dry, you'll need your chocolate or whatever candy you're putting in there, as well as your piece of crepe paper and a piece of repositionable tape, which you will use in a second. The paper again measures 8.5 by 8. And let's go ahead and turn that little holder over. And on one edge, you're going to go ahead and fold it over so you have a nice clean finish on the outside, similar to how you would wrap a present. By no means do you want to put these 2 pieces snug. You want to leave enough room so that when we twist the paper on the ends, it won't tear. Place your piece of repositionable tape there for now. We'll remove that later. Turn it over, and now we're going to do the twist. So the way I figured out, I hold it with my left hand and twist with my right. And I'm very right-handed, so I seem to always start with my right. It seems to work for me. And then do the same thing on your left. Okay, just twist as such. Okay, so kind of crunch it in. And now grab those 2 strips of 8 inches of twine. What I like to do with twine, similar to how I like to do this with ribbon, especially when I'm tying bags or such things together, kind of bring those pieces together so you make a loop on top. Okay, bring it underneath. And then you're going to put those 2 little legs through the loop. And then just kind of bring it, like secure it down and tight. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and make a bow. As I'm doing here, and then once you have the size of the loops in your bow, you're happy with them, just go ahead and trim out any excess. So I'm doing here. Do the same exact thing to the other side. Okay, so you end up with your little gift or little candy wrap. Put that aside for now. We're going to work on the middle of the candy. So as I mentioned, there's a cardboard side and a white side to this. Love that. If for some reason you don't have that, white cardstock would work as well. And then we're just going to do freehanded with liquid glue. Just kind of do a little, go all the way around your circle as I'm doing here. So just kind of give it that form that you would see in peppermint candies and such. It's so Christmas to me. So the extra twine you had, I start at the end, on the edge, and just kind of press down as I go. Now, the easiest way I found with this, and you've seen me every time I use glue, I put a piece of white cardstock or actually printer paper in this sense, or if you have extra paper laying around works just as well. I found it that it's, as I'm going around, at first the loops is fine, but as you're getting closer to the end, sometimes turning the paper might be easier. Totally up to you. You can find whichever way works for you. I just found that having enough twine on the ends makes the twine more flexible so that you're able to loop it all the way around. And as you see, I'm kind of fixing as I go. You're also going to put this aside to dry, so you have a little bit of time to work with it, and kind of, especially when you're working with liquid glue, it's the best thing. So go ahead and cut off once you get to the end, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky because you kind of want it, to sit there, but of course, because I've been kind of fixing as I go, I have a little bit of glue on my hand, so I think I might need to grab like my X-Acto knife to make it work. Yep, I think this will be better. Okay, and then just set it down. You are putting the pearl in the middle, so if it's not completely, pretty looking, it's fine. The pearl will hide it. So set that in the middle. Sorry, I have glue all over my fingers. Okay, so set it in the middle. And now we're going to put the whole thing aside to dry. Sticky. Okay, there we go. Put it aside to dry. Once it's dry, bring back your candy wrapper. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit, and now I'm going to remove, actually let me put this down and then we'll remove the repositionable tape. For this part, I'm adding hot glue gun because you really want it to set in there because that's the first thing they're going to grab, and so it'll give it a nice bond and you'll be able to center it right away without having to shift it around too much. Okay, so while that's setting, hold it down a little bit. And let's turn it over and remove the piece of tape since you don't need it anymore. And we're going to go ahead and just fluff out the ends. And all I do is put my fingers in there, as you're seeing me do, and then just kind of crunch the crepe paper towards the middle of the candy wrapper. Okay? And with that, we're pretty much done. So that's it. Quick, easy, and like I said, you can get 4 out of 1 piece of toilet paper roll. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have fun making them.